Hey guys, Booligan here with Booligan Airsoft and Shooting Sports. Going back to Airsoft with a project from the future. I mean, not quite from the future. It's very much in the present. But it definitely looks like something from the year like 2078, we'll go with. That's a pretty good number to stick with. What this is the Sru Snp Kit. This is their sniper rifle. Now, as you guys know, SRU kind of specializes in doing 3D printed, kind of spacey looking guns. They're conversion kits, usually converting an existing rifle into a bullpup configuration. This version uses a VSR-10 compatible Airsoft sniper rifle and moves everything back a couple of inches. Your normal VSR-10 trigger is right about here, so you get about 5 inches of kind of bullpup moving it back, but still your magazine is right here, right in front of the trigger. It's actually a little bit more normally located than it would be on a normal VSR-10, which kind of puts it halfway up the stock. So what the SNP kit consists of is several different body panels. It's actually the most complex kit that they have that I can see. I previously tested out their gas blowback SCAR kit. I've tested out some of their components for AR-15 type rifles, both their AEG and their gas blowback one. So now you got this one. So yeah, it consists of several different components that all have to be kind of assembled in a specific way. The manual that comes with it is really just a one-sheet deal, and it's pretty good. It gives you a pretty good idea of what you should be, where you should be putting components in what order. It is designed to use either a VSR-10 G-spec length, which is what this is, or the Pro length, which you'd have a little bit of barrel sticking out. It comes with a little spacer for that. For my gun, instead of going with a VSR-10, because I like to build mine on a budget, I actually went with a Well MB model sniper rifle. Now, you guys may recall the Well MB. It's either the MB02 or the MB03, depending on barrel length. But that's what I made my scout rifle out of. That's what I have made my bolt action blunderbuss out of. And now we have something else to complete the family. Something for a stormtrooper that actually knows how to hit his target. This is the short barrel version, which I believe is the MB03. I'll have to double check on that and put the information in this video. And of course, being me, I went with the white version. I actually talk with SRU pretty regularly about their different models and occasionally give them my thoughts on it. Not that my thoughts mean very much, but I did, when they announced this, I did make the recommendation that they make it available in white, because all their guns have kind of a futuristic look to them, and man, futuristic guns look so good in white. And I'm happy that I was right. Look how good this thing looks. Even with a budget base gun in it. Like, the base gun in this is like $90. I went with the cheapest one that I could find. Even came with a fake wood stock because that was cheaper than the black model. And I'm happy to report that even that inexpensive base model fits quite well in this chassis. There are a few modifications that you have to do. First and foremost, how this guy works, still a bolt action, your bolt handle now rides above the top of the cylinder. So instead of being at the back of the cylinder, it's actually up here at the front. That does give you a couple of limitations. Because these are 3D printed, you can look at the detail lines on there. These kits are all 3D printed. Because of that, it's still made of polymer, and you can't fiddle with it until you have the whole thing kind of built. And also they recommend that you limit your spring strength to like an M130 or less. So if you're like a hardcore heavy duty sniper, probably not the setup for you unless you are running like an HPA setup, which would require a whole bunch of other work, which I am not doing on this gun. But in stock form, for like a kind of scout rifle type build, it works fine. But you have to make a small adjustment on certain guns. On a VSR-10, when the gun will not fire unless the bolt handle is in the down position. The problem is there's just a tiny bit of difference between like a Tokyo Marui VSR-10 and like any of the other ones. The HFCs have the same problem, the Well ones have the same problem, and you just have to, on the inside of this piece, you have to like Dremel it just a tiny bit, give it a little bit more range of adjustment so that when you flip it down, it actually triggers that little thing that unlocks the trigger. But other than that, the kit went in pretty easy. Had to do a little bit of sanding work where the magazine catches so that that would work reliably, both that it would lock in and that it would release. But other than that, it went together pretty well, and it looks pretty damn good. For a scope up top, I went with it's an NC Star Vism model. I basically went on evic.com and looked for the most high-tech looking scope that I could find. This thing is perfect. This thing almost looks exactly like the scope from Oblivion, I believe, Tom Cruise movie. That sounds about right. Where he had a fancy Magpul Masada. Basically looks just like that. Includes a iron sight setup up top and has flashlights for reasons. Because sometimes you need a flashlight on your scope so that you can illuminate a little bit but not actually give away your position. I don't know. But either way, it looks very high-tech and is cool. It also has an illuminated reticle and works really quite well. The height is perfect on it. The eye relief is perfect on it. And it fits the theme of the gun. I'd say so. So overall, you could build one of these things. The kit costs around $200. The kit for these is a bit more expensive than most of SRU's kits. You can do it with either, like I said, a VSR-10, which is a little bit more expensive, or you can go cheap like I did and just understand that you're going to have to do a little bit more handiwork to actually make the thing fit together. You're not going to have the best fit and finish of your internal components. You know, you're just going to require a little bit more work. So that's up to you on how you want to run these. But you can build these, like I said, for under $300, which is pretty cool. The build quality on them is quite good. It does seem to have, I know that it's probably the same printing machines that they're using their other kits, but it seems like the print resolution is a little bit lower on this than maybe on their SCAR kit, because the SCAR kit just, it almost doesn't look 3D printed. This, especially in white, you can tell that it's 3D printed. But the nice part is that everything is really solid on the body itself. This thing is a solid chunk of polymer material. The only part that you're a little bit cautious about is that cocking lever, just because you don't want to break it off. So you kind of, how I do it, I like to get like full purchase on this. My hand all the way up, riding the receiver when you cock it, and then just slide it back forward. You know, it works just fine. You just have to, you know, be a little bit gentle about it. In the future, what I would love to see, I'd love to see a cottage industry. I'd love SRU to include a metal cocking assembly. Probably not going to happen given that they kind of specialize in polymer stuff. But I'd love to see a cottage industry, maybe somebody whipping one of those up in aluminum or something else. That would be great, because then you could run this with much hotter springs. But overall, I like it. I think it's unique. I think it looks really, really cool. And it'll be very interesting to get this out, even as a low-powered sniper rifle in my case, because this guy's shooting just right at like 400 FPS. Getting this out and getting some kills with it out at my local field. So many thanks to SRU for providing the kit. And the rest of the stuff I was able to get from evic. The scope was around like $70, and the gun was around like $70 as well, I think. Either 70 or $80. But there will be links for purchasing everything in the information section below this video. And as always, thanks for watching.